and that could be a huge goal in trying to qualify for the Europa League playoff.
Oh, yes!
Hello and welcome back to another episode as part of the Corners of Europe Challenge, and welcome back to Tromso, where in today's episode we have got two games coming up. The first one in the Europa League against Panathinaikos, and then after that we're playing against Odds in their stadium. We've got two games in the space of 3 days. We're making our debut in the Europa League. We've played two games already actually, but it's the debut here on the channel. Obviously we don't really want to be here, to be honest, but we are, and now we're going to be competitive and try and give it our all. It's going to be a good game. We've had our fixtures obviously be released, those 8 games which you saw. The average opponent going to be a little bit tougher, but it's games like this one against Panathinaikos where we really have to get results. If we take a look at how we've done since last episode, our semi-final and then the win, no, it was actually the loss against Molde. So we've had a win there against Viking, a win against Karabag in our first game, which was big for us. Then 4 losses in a row. We're very, very poor. That includes a loss against Bodo Glimt and then 2 1-0 losses at home. We cannot get rid of this. Definitely a few changes need to be done. Going into next season, a 4-1 loss against Fenerbahce as well. We've had a tough time against the Turkish teams, especially in our playoff, and then we've lost to Galatasaray and Fenerbahce now. Probably shouldn't have put them in the same sentence. The rivalry's there, absolutely insane. But tough game away from home against them in a stadium with 40,000 in. We took 24 fans away, but at least they got to see a goal in the end. Yeah, 2 more league losses and then a 1-0 win finally with a 90th minute winner. We've got these 2 games coming up today. 5 games to finish within the top 5. We have an issue. The fact that we've scored 27 goals in this season. We're the 4th worst in the league if we go and take a look. Goals 4 if we go there. 4th worst. It's not very good at all, and that raises the question. I mean, the first thing I've got to say is that Flores will most likely be leaving the club. He's not been as convincing as he was last year, and I think the past few seasons probably. I think his time is up. Are we playing too negative football? I'm not. I think there's an argument for it. The places in July, I think, is at risk. Mauro Couto is at risk, definitely. You can see the stats for yourself. Not as good as they formerly were, and I think Mauro Couto is obviously probably the most consistent, but he needs the players around him to perform a little bit better for him to be able to too, but he's not doing too well either. They're all at risk. We need more goals. It's not been the most convincing league campaign, but the thing is we are still 3 points within Bodo Glimt. They did beat us in their stadium, but in the running we should have some nice fixtures. We have Odds, who we're playing against next, Fredrikstad at the bottom of the league. We've got Braun, who are just below us, Sandefjord in 10th, and Rosenborg, who have dropped back down to 8th. So it's nothing too tough. We're not playing a team any higher than 7th place, so we should be able to get results realistically, but it just depends. There's frustration between the players. It's a tricky time at the moment. But yeah, we'll have the cup final by next episode where we'll be playing against Molde. Depending on that, it will show us if we get back into Europe. We're doing all right. Obviously, 1 win, 1 loss. If we get a win today here against Panathinaikos, then we would go with 6 points. And if we can take a look actually what the qualification has been. So we're probably looking at a playoff. So it's 7. We'll probably go 1 above. So 10 points there. 10. 8, 9, 8. So it depends really. It depends how lucky we get, to be honest. It's between 8 to 10 points, and if we can get 6 after 3 games, you'd put us in a very, very good position to go on and complete the job. It's crazy how we're here anyway. Molde are here as well. They've got 2 wins already in the league phase. But yeah, if they beat us in the final and we finish top 5 with 5 games left to go, we would go back to the Conference League, which is what we want, I guess. Very, very lengthy. Hang in there. Have the patience. The result will come in the end, and it will be all that much sweeter when we do go on and do it. We've got this first game of the day against Panathinaikos, so let's go straight to it. So the team for this Europa League game against Panathinaikos, full strength today. The team starts with Satren in goal. We've got a backline of Carvalho, Eduardo and Gilia. Shegjal, Dahl, Pereira and Conceição make up the middle. We've got Ingela on the left, Kuta on the right, and Flores up top. Kick off in this game against Panathinaikos. As you saw against Karabag, a 3-0 win, very convincingly at home. It's probably one of the longest. It's the longest travel in the competition, I'd like to think. Probably even it might actually be Karabag. Thinking about it, but obviously in kind of mainland Europe, I guess Greece is the southernmost point from Norway, I guess, if you count like Spain, the Canary Islands where Las Palmas are, but they're not in the Europa League. The aim was to win the Europa League with them, but that will be a little while away yet. This series has gone on a very, very long time, but it's all about the patience hanging in there, and the result will come. In the end, I can understand it's taken its time now. We're in a competition that we don't even want to be. It's one better. But whilst we're still here, we'll try to be competitive. We're doing well at the moment. Obviously, we've struggled against like Fenerbahce, who I assume are in the top spots. Yeah, they're literally first in the league phase. So you'd like to hope we don't face them. If we do go on and qualify, we would have a playoff most likely. I don't think we get an automatic spot. So that is our method of qualification. Obviously, as I said, the attacking issue has become a thing that's emerged. We've not been that convincing really in the league season. It's been a weird season is probably the way to describe it. We've lost key players like Mota, Lasanta, unfortunately, to the Saudi clubs. And although we got a bit of money, we don't get loads really. Would have rather kept the players. We've gone into the Europa League, which has been tough. Maybe we didn't even want it, but at the same time, we're nearly on. We've been in the top spots in the league for a long time. We've dropped out a little bit because our form has just gone out the window. Four in our last 5 games, before the Alson game we just played, 4 losses out of those 5. It's not been too convincing, but when we'll bounce back. We've got 5 games. We should get results really. It would be disappointing if we don't get the results that we need, but to finish top 5, we're going to another final, Norwegian Cup final, back to back. Whether we defend our title or not, I don't really know. Mauro Kuta is making a nice run into the box here. His one of his first Europa League games. We've seen what he can do in the Conference League, but now it's over to the Europa League for him. I mean, it's hard to communicate what we want to do, but I wonder what these boys think. Flores with the shot, and that is the goal to seal our second win in the Europa League here. What a finish that is, and that could be a huge goal in trying to qualify for the Europa League playoffs. It's Alex Flores. Just so I was saying, we're having a goal scoring issue. I mean, Flores will be leaving the club. It's a shame. We've had many good times when he's been here, a number of years, but I think we have to get a new striker. I've realised something that, when I go to different clubs, the toughest thing to get nailed on is the defence. And I feel like we've got a really, really good defence. It's very secure. We've got good depth there as well. But it feels like, the midfield hasn't suffered, but the attack might have a little bit. Mauro Couto, we've stuck with him a long time. How much longer can he stay as a kind of a key figure in that attack? I'm not too sure. He really needs to, I mean, in these big games, he does turn up, but if he's not going to play as well in the league, we can't play him in these because his sharpness isn't going to be there when we require him. Players are going to be frustrated about getting dropped because we're going to play a player who, I guess, just does well in Europe. I don't really know. In July was never really supposed to be a starting option. He is now. I mean, we're probably looking at a replacement for him. We do actually have a transfer lined up for a new striker. Now, I'm not going to reveal that until most likely tomorrow. It has gone through for a fee of around 1 million. We're bringing in a player from Mulder. You may have already seen them. I think it's a good deal. Hopefully, it works out. We'll have to see. But yeah, we're looking at replacements all over, because we need them. We're in a tough spot at the moment as to how we improve the type of play we bring in. Do we change the system in order for the attackers to perform a little bit better? It's all the types of questions we have to ask, but I think we've just got to go with what we have now. Make sure to qualify for Europe. I mean, we're in a very, very good position to qualify because Mauro Couto with that free kick there, I thought he nearly put it away. We're in a good position. But I mean, we just have to see. We really do have to see. Van Persie and Rafael Leo are still playing next to each other. I assume that's Rafael Leo. Yeah, he is. He's 33 years old at this point in history. But Van Persie, what is he doing? We've got Shaquille Van Persie. He must be a decent player. Maybe we could bring him in actually, at striker. See how lead do. Maybe not actually, considering he's scoring for an AC Milan team. But yeah, it's something we'll have to consider. We just need to secure that Europe for now with the players that we have. But losing Thiago Motta, losing Lissanta at the back. I mean, Carvalho has been good. He's still got potential, but it's just a bit frustrating, that we have had to lose them. But what can you do really? Carvalho now does find himself on the ball into the field. He goes to Gleeson, who's been good since he's arrived, a free agent in from Newcastle United, who should be in the Europa League. I don't know why they're not here, because they did win it a few years ago. They must be going for the Champions League or something like that, which would be good for them, as Panathinaikos are going to try and come and create a chance for themselves. 70 minutes. Obviously, as you saw, our I don't know if I mentioned it, but our defensive stats were the second best in the league. We maintain a goal difference, despite the fact we've got the fourth least goals scored. We still maintain a goal difference of like 7 or 8. That's because we've conceded like 20 goals, which is good. We finally secured the defense. It's something we had an issue with, but to find the balance of securing all the positions is one thing I've realised. It's tough. You can neglect, when you're trying to fix one place, you can neglect the place where you think is already good. And previously, that was the attack in the interests of trying to secure the defence. I think obviously last year was big for us, where we brought in Gilia and Eduardo. But then after that, the attack has been a little bit neglected, and I said the issue would be not having a striker, not signing a striker. I thought this team was perfect, but we did lose in the quarter final. Obviously, we've not returned. We may not return to the Conference League for another 2 years, and that's just the. It's the I think this is definitely the time in the corners of Europe Challenge where all the intricacies come in, all the ways of you can qualify higher than you should be really. But it doesn't look like we're doing too bad in the Europa League here, as we get our second goal. Eduardo with another. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to label it a screamer off the back of that goal he scored the other day, but it's a decent goal to make it 2-0 here and surely pick us up 6 points out of 9. As you can see, we are 11th place. We move up to 10 now. Goal difference is very varied in this tournament, obviously, because teams will play other teams where they get huge results against them. We sit in 10th place, still that room to continue to climb. But yeah, in a very, very good position at the moment. Mulder are there doing well for themselves too. We're going to make a few substitutions here. Hemmingson's going to come on. We'll bring off Dahl for Amdahl in the middle there, and then Stegel for Kornienko. That will wrap up our substitutes here, and they will see out this game. 1 minute of added time, and the full-time whistle is going to go. A lovely win here in the Europa League. So the team for this game against odds, no changes from last time out. We've got Satren in goal, backline Carvalho, Eduardo and Gilia, Stegel, Dahl, Pereira and Conceição. In the middle, we've got Injo on the left, Kuta on the right, and Flores up top. Kick off here in this game against odds. Obviously, it's an important game. It's going to be a tough game. Odds, one of the kind of consistent performers in this league. Dahl has got a lovely ball over the top. Can he release it? He has the shot, and that is, I assume that's Peterson, who's always there for odds. We're playing against him today. One of our former backup goalkeepers, never really broke into the team, but he's broke into this odds team. He denies Dahl there. In July plays into Stegel, and he heads just over the bar there. But yeah, it's an important game. We need to pick up points. We're dropping off a little bit behind Bodo Glimt. Obviously, you can see for yourself, if we tie with them, we go we go ahead of them in terms of goal difference, because we are 11 clear at the moment. Mulder are on 41 goal difference, which is, I don't know how they do it, to be honest, but you've got Stybike in second, Valerenga in third, and then Lillestrøm Brann are in there. If we deny them again, they're going to be traumatised. Bodo Glimt, obviously us, and then Sarpsborg are going to get relegated again by the looks of it. Viking and Rosenborg, the two competitors to the throne. Viking lost out 2 seasons ago when Rosenborg managed to finally dethrone Molde last year, but it looks like they might win the league once again, return to their throne after a year absent from it. But yeah, we need to get some points here today. We were convincing in the last game, we didn't really let Panathinaikos through. We got the goals, and overall it was a good result in a European game, and that's exactly what we need from this game too. As Flores is making a nice run through, he has the shot, and it's just put over the bar there. 22 minutes gone. In this game, we've played halfway through the first half, and it's been pretty much all us early on in this game, but we don't have what we need as of yet, as the odds players have come moving into the box. It's a square ball, dangerous area, the shot goes in, and that is a poor goal to concede, really. And I think this is an issue we have. We can build momentum, but we just slack. We just give away goals when we really don't need to, and that is 1-0 to this odds team, and we cannot afford to keep it at 1-0 for our 6th or 7th or 8th 1-0 loss. We've had 0-0 draws, so many of them 1-0 losses, and I think this is an issue. It's because we're not scoring goals, and we're not scoring goals in this game, and that's why we find ourselves 1-0 down. This would be a tough loss to take if we don't find it. It looks like Bodo Glimt have already lost their game actually, so we need to win the game for ourselves, because we literally would go top 5 as it stands. As you can see, we'd gain 3 points and go top 5. Lots at stake in this game. We need to improve. Going into the second half, I'm going to make some half-time changes. Actually, I'm going to bring on Hemmingson, right winger Pereira off. We'll bring on Gleeson for him there, give us a bit of attacking influence, see what we can do. As we need to encourage, we need to find the goals. If we leave this game at 1-0 and that's the end result, it would be so frustrating. How many of them have we had? There's 35 minutes left in this game. Oh, is there any chance here? Are we going to find anything? Right, there's an odds goal kick. We need to win the first ever. It's a poor ball, actually, and we win our header. It's Conceição plays it into Hemmingson now. Hemmingson forward, back into Conceição, back to Gleeson now, who finds himself on the ball in a deep position. He goes back to Carvalho into Stegjal now, who makes up part of the midfield, and he's just passed it straight into the feet of the odds player. It's poor play from us here infield. The ball goes now, and now we need to try and win it back. Turn it over for us. Put on your press. Hemmingson, the young lad, go and put on a press. 17 years of age. That's exactly what he does. That is what we need from him. And Gleeson is on the ball. He plays it to Dahl, and Injulai's got so much room to run into. Teo Injulai releases the shot, and it's a poor shot in the end. He's put it wide of the post, and that surely was the chance to equalise in this game. That's so frustrating, so disappointing, and maybe we have to resort to the cup, to be honest. But Molde is so much more convincing. We're only 3 points behind, but this game we needed points from it, and we've not taken our chances. Very frustrating. Are we going to find a late goal in this game, or is that going to be? It's going to be frustrating to try and get that to climb back up. We're 3 points behind. There's many teams ahead of us who are going to be in favour of trying to get those spots. Are we going to find a goal, or is it going to be another 1-0 loss, highlighting all the issues that we have? 80 minutes gone in this game. We're not finding anything. We've had the momentum. We've had chances, but it's just not coming for us. Too conservative in our play. But there's one corner here. In July plays this ball in near post. Dahl is not going to get there, and that is just going to be the story of our season, to be honest. We've slacked off a little bit. It's poor. It's poor from us. When is when is our league form going to improve? We've been really good and consistent over the last few years, but this year we could be missing out via the league. But Flores has just confirmed that we probably are going to, as he's just missed a huge chance there. It's going to come down to the final 4 games. We have to close the gap of 3 points. We're still there. Are we going to steal a late point and close that to within 2? Virgilia finds himself on the ball. He plays it out wide to Conceição, and he's got space to run into ahead of him. Conceição is progressing with the ball down this right side into the box. He finds Hemmingson. Hemmingson Gleeson's going to lose square. He plays back to Conceição. Forrest is there. It's off a defender. And it's into Ramage. Ramage into Gleeson. Gleeson loses out. And now odds are going to try and turn it over. But Dahl is there making up. They're winning back the ball for us. Turning it over. But nothing's going to come for us in this game. It's so frustrating. There's 4 minutes of added time. It's going to be another 1-0 loss. And this is disappointing. So once again, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy that video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll leave you with this little tune, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you, bye.